Hi everyone, I am Gina from Gina C Creates and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this cute springtime window with our Cricut machine. Here are a few supplies you will need to get started. You will need a cutting machine. I am using my Cricut Explorer, and you will also need a printer because we are using the print and cut feature in Cricut. So you'll need some white cardstock. I am going to use 3 sheets total for this project. One so I could print on, and for my card base, and for my window frame. And then I have some foam tape and craft glues to put it together. And then I have some Cricut tools and a scoring stylus, and I'm just using a standard grit mat. Next, you will also need my spring window card template. You could grab that at ginacreates.com. I also have a link for you down in the description box. And inside the folder, you will find 2 other folders. One is for the spring window, and the SVG might display as a HTML document, and that is only because your Windows PC computer might not know how to display it. But that file is the SVG, so you will use that to upload to Cricut. And then you will also get the floral arrangements, and those are PNG images. And then in the other folder, we have the card base, and you will use the SVG file for this one. And to open these, we are first going to open up Cricut Design Space. So I'm just going to exit out of this window. So now that I have Design Space open, I am going to go to Upload and upload all the files I need for this card. So I am going to go to the base, and I'm going to upload the SVG template for my card base and save that to my library. And then I'm going to go back and go to the Windows folder and upload the window SVG and save that to my library as well. And then we will also need to upload those 2 PNG images of the floral arrangements. And I have 2 because I layer them on top of each other. Make sure you save it as a complex image, and we don't have to do any editing, just save it as a print and cut image and add it to your library, and it's ready to go. And I was saying I include 2 floral arrangements just so I could layer them on top of each other and add a little bit dimension and character to my card. So it's up to you if you want to use this single arrangement. First thing we're going to add to our canvas is the card base, and we just want to make sure it uploads the correct size. It should be 10 inches in width and 7 inches in height, and this will make a 5x7 card. And then over in the layouts panel, you can see that I have a cut line going down the center. We're going to switch that to a score line, and then we're going to attach the whole group. And then now we have our card base ready to go. And now we can add our window SVG to the canvas, and this will sit right on the front of the card, and it will have a little inset, and this size should be 4.875 in width, or you can change it to be 5x7 and just cover the whole card. It won't have the little offset around it. So I'm just going to leave it at 4.875 inches in width, and this just gives a little offset around the card. And then next I'm going to ungroup it, and then I'm just going to break down these layers for you. You have the cute little flower shelf, we have our window frame, and then we have our back window frame, and then under that we have our cute little pink window curtains, and then under that layer we have the full window frame. And this is there so you can change the color, or you can leave it out and just have the whole color card come through. So it's up to you if you want to use 2 different colors for this window. You could come up to here and change it under the swatches, but I'm going to show you how to use a pattern for the background. So change it to a print and cut image, and then come up to the color swatch, and you'll get option for patterns. And then you can scroll down and select any of these cute patterns. They have preset in Cricut Design Space. And I found this cute floral purple one, and I think it just matches this card perfectly. And you can go to edit pattern, and you can slide this little dot to the right to change the size of the pattern. So I thought that's really cool. But you can see it's not totally seamless. So you can also change the horizontal and vertical alignment. So you can get any of those seams out of your shape. So I'm just pushing it up and making it higher so no seams are showing. And now I have a cute little wallpaper inside my window. And then next we are going to add our floral arrangement. And we're going to add both of those to the canvas. And we are going to just scale it down to sit on top of our windowsill. So you could just grab it by one corner, and you can make this arrangement as big or small as you like. I'm just going to fill my whole windowsill, and then I am going to size this one down to make sure it is the same height as the floral arrangement underneath. So I can add it on top and just give it a little pop of dimension. So I'm just making sure this is the correct size. And then once I have everything positioned how I like, I'm ready to click make for this cute little springtime window. And before you move on, you just make sure that you save your project, and all these preparations will be done for you in case you want to make this again. And next, I like to change my material size to 8.5 by 11 cardstock, since that is what I'm working with, and it just moves all the shapes into that cutting space. And then I am ready to cut. And for my print and cut layer, I am just going to send it to the printer and leave on bleed and use system dialog. And this will take me to my printer settings so I can change the quality to high and then just print it out. And next, I like to make sure that my mat I'm cutting on for cardstock is a little bit dull and nice and clean. So I just run my Cricut scraper over the top. And here is my print and cut paper printed out. You can see it printed pretty nicely. And I'm just going to put that up in the top left corner, making sure it's aligned with your grid on your mat. And for just added security, since I'm using a doll mat for my cardstock, I like to put blue painter's tape in the corner to hold down my cardstock. Because when it's cutting down the flowers, it does have a lot of corners to go around, so I don't want my paper to accidentally move while it's cutting. So go ahead and feed it through your Cricut, and it will read your registration marks first, and then it will cut out your shapes. And then to take our pieces off the mat, we're just going to flip over the entire mat face down and roll it back, and our pieces should pop right off and stay nice and flat. And look how cute these little floral arrangements came out. And then our pattern from Cricut Design Space looks pretty awesome as well. So next we're going to finish cutting out the rest of our layers, and I just like to clean my mat in between cuts to make sure that no debris gets stuck underneath. And make sure you load that scoring stylus for our card base so it can score down the center. And then once it's done cutting out, you can flip it over and remove it from the mat. And then we're going to fold over at that score line and make sure it's nice and flat. And then next we could just finish cutting out the rest of our layers so we could put this cute little card together. Before I assemble, I like to prep my foam tape into smaller strips, and I do that with an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat. And then I also use parchment paper in between so it doesn't stick to my cutting mat. So now that we have all our supplies ready to go, we are going to start with this back window frame and the curtains. And they are going to be glued right to the back of the frame. And they have a little room so you can glue them as high or low as you want. So you're able to pull your curtains down lower if you wish. So I'm just running my glue around the sides and top only. And then I'm laying that back window frame right on top. And then I'm just making sure it's lined up correctly so it's not showing through the front on the sides and it's in the right position. And then next we're going to flip it over and add foam strips to the sides of the window frame and to the back of the curtains. And we are going to layer that right on top of our full wallpaper piece. And then we are going to add the actual window frame to the top. So on the back, you're just going to add your foam tape and make sure you don't add any to the center of the windows because that is not actually going to touch anything. And you just need it around the edges. And then we're going to add that little strip for added character onto the top. And then we're going to finish up with our windowsill shelf. And we are going to just add a strip of foam tape to the back and then layer that right on top of the bottom of our windowsill. And then we are going to add our floral arrangements. So for the small floral arrangement, I'm just going to add some foam tape and layer that on top of my larger arrangement. And you can use 2 layers of foam tape just to give it more depth. And we are going to glue this right on top of our windowsill. And now we have our cute little spring window ready to go to add to our card. And I just love how this came out. It has so much character to it and so simple. And next, we are going to make sure our card is folded. You can add it straight to the front if that is the look you're going for, or you can add a pop of color to the background with that flat card. And I am just going to glue the flat card to the front, and I'm just putting small dots in the corners and then adding glue to the center where the window frame is going to go. And just make sure that's nice flat and dry and the glue is rubbed out. And then we're going to center this window frame. So I'm just adding glue to the back and I'm just going around the edges, kind of staying away from the center. And then I am going to position it where I want it on the front of the card. Great thing about this card is there is room for a greeting. If you want to add any text to the front of the card, you could do it under the window or on top and just position it lower or higher. And here is another card that I made. I just left out the flat card and I found this cute blue wallpaper pattern in Design Space as well. And then I just made the floral arrangements a little bit smaller. And then I also left out the windowsill shelf since I made the whole window frame the same brown color. So this template is totally customizable. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with and how you use my spring window card. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and visit Gina Creates to grab the SVG template. See you guys next time.